contrite heart. Humbly I surrender all that I am. I want to learn from you. Please draw me close to you. Help me share your love and grace in all I do. Lord, I come before you with contrite heart. Humbly I surrender all that I am. I want to learn from you. Please draw me close to you. Let me share your love and grace in all I do. Oh Lord, transform me. Change my heart completely to be more like you. Oh Lord, renew me. Heal my mind and broken heart today. I want to be and to do what you commanded, and be filled with the Spirit every day. I want to serve you wherever you may lead me. I want to serve you till the very end. Oh Lord, transform me. Change my heart completely to be more like you. Oh Lord, renew me. Heal my mind and broken heart today. I want to be and to do what you commanded, and be filled with the Spirit every day. I want to serve you wherever you may lead me. I want to serve you till the very end. Help me shine a light to a darkened world, and always live your truth in every way. May your love for me be seen by everyone, and lead others to trust and love you more. Oh Lord, transform me. Change my heart completely to be more like you. Oh Lord, renew me. Heal my mind and broken heart today. I want to be and to do what you commanded, and be filled with the Spirit every day. I want to serve you wherever you may lead me. I want to serve you till the very end. Oh Lord, transform me. Change my heart completely to be more like you. Oh Lord, renew me. Heal my mind and broken heart today. I want to be and to do what you commanded, and be filled with the Spirit every day. I want to serve you wherever you may lead me. I want to serve you till the very end. Lord, transform me to serve. Lord, transform me to serve.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Youth Life session. Before we begin, we're just gonna have a short word of prayer. All kind and most loving Father God.
contrite heart.
Step 2. Select the app.
O balm of care and sadness, most beautiful, most bright, on thee the high and lowly, who bend before thy throne, sing holy, 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 to the eternal one. Thou art a port protection from storms that round us rise, a garden intersected with streams of paradise. Thou art a cooling fountain in land's dry, dreary sand. From thee like Esau's mountain, we view our promised land. A day of sweet reflection, thou art a day of love, a day to raise affection from earth to things above. New grace is ever gaining from this our day of rest. We seek the rest remaining in mansions of the blessed. Our second song is gonna be You Deserve It. So join with us as we sing My Hallelujah Belongs to You. My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah belongs to you. It belongs to you. My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. It belongs to you. My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. All of the glory belongs to you. All of the glory. All of the glory belongs to you. It belongs to you. All of the glory belongs to you. All of the glory. All of the glory belongs to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. All of the honor.
All of the honor, all of the honor belongs to you. It belongs to you. All of the honor, you deserve it. 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 Our final song will be How Great is Our God. And God is indeed great to us, so we're going to sing that at this moment. The splendor of the King. The splendor of the King, clothed in majesty. Let all the earth rejoice. Let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice, and trembles at his voice. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? And all will see how great is our God. Age to age he stands. Age to age he stands. And time is in his hands. Beginning at the end. Beginning at the end. The good and three in one. Father, Spirit, and Son. The Lion and the Lamb. The Lion and the Lamb. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? And all will see how great is our God. One more time, how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God. We thank you so much for joining us in this song service session. Do enjoy the rest of the evening. Hi everyone, welcome.
We are so happy that you have decided to join us tonight. It is a joy for us as God's people to come together and praise Him. And tonight we are grateful to the Roberts family for leading us through our song service tonight. So, Roberts family, thank you so much. May God continue to bless you and continue to bless your ministry. Saints of God, tonight we say this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We continue to praise God and give Him all the glory. And and praise that is due only unto his name. Tonight we are looking at indeed another important topic. As young people, I think this topic is relevant. And I ask you, because of the how relevant this topic is, not only for us as young persons, but for parents and guardians as well, I would like to encourage you to invite your young people, invite your children, invite your entire family to join tonight as you watch Youth Live. Tonight we have a strong panelist, young people, as well as resource personnel to speak and share with us this evening. But before I even share the topic with you, just bow your heads wherever you are and let's pray together as a family. Loving Father, tonight we thank you, we praise you, we glorify your name because, Lord, you are worthy to be praised. Lord, we thank you for life. We thank you for the ability that you have given to us and the strength and the vigor and the tenacity and the perseverance that you have given to us, that even through these times, we are still in good mental health. Father, I pray, oh God, that as we go throughout the program tonight, that the Holy Spirit would lead and you'd have full control. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen. Saints of God, again, I'm excited to be back with you for another episode of Youth Live. Now, just before I share with you the theme tonight, I need your help. I am in need of your help. How do I need your help tonight? It is simple. It is simple. Simple as like and share. Simple as that. So I encourage you to like the page. I encourage you to share it with somebody because the discussion tonight would benefit both you and myself. Tonight, I'm saying that we have 235 persons on the YouTube channel. We have on Facebook 212. And we are also on the Grenada Conference online radio station. So if you go to the conference website, you would hear the program right there as well. So therefore, I would love by God's grace, it is 11 minutes to 8. I pray by God's grace by 8 o'clock that we would be able to reach 300 persons on YouTube and 300 persons on Facebook. It can be done. How will it be done? I repeat myself, like and share. Like and share. One young person to another, one adult to another, one somebody to another, sharing the page. By 8 o'clock, in the next 10 minutes exact, we should reach 300 on YouTube and 300 on Facebook. Saints of God, my friends, my family, tonight, our topic is conflict resolution. We are looking at the parents and children and the conflict that is in the home. Actually, conflict as human beings would always happen. How do we manage our conflict? Is it impossible to avoid conflicts in the home? If it isn't possible, is it? Tonight we'll find out. If it is not impossible to do so, what are some of the things that we'll do to avoid conflict in the home, especially now since we have that kind of lockdown, a lot of persons are home 24/7. That means you see your mother more often, you see your father more often, you see your husband more often, you see your wife more often, you see the children more often. Right now, everybody is in everybody's face. So therefore, that means the more often we see each other, the greater possibilities for conflict. So tonight we will discuss that, and we ask you to please chat with us through the online platforms, man. Send us your messages and so forth. But tonight we need to introduce our guests. I have with me five power packed people tonight in the house. So therefore, I will begin with Junior, then I will go to Patrick Jr., then I will go to Ella Pearson, Sister Sally, and I will leave, I then will go to Glenroy and would leave the rose among the roses for the last, all right? So therefore, Sister Sandy, that's the name. Just introduce yourself. Tell us about who you are, where you're from, and so forth. So Junior, go ahead, and then Patrick Jr. will follow.
Well, good night, everyone. My name is Daniel Sincere. I'm a member of the Richmond Seventh-day Adventist Church. I am 18 years old, and I'm an active invested AY leader.
All right, thank you, Junior. Nice to meet you, man. And the entire Facebook and YouTube have just met Junior. All right, so let's go to Patrick Jr.
Well, hi, good night, everyone. My name is Cecil Patrick Jr., and I'm from the Grand Mall Seventh-day Adventist Church. I'm 15 years old, and I'm also an active member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
All right, Cecil, nice meeting you, man, and we'd have a wonderful time discussing together. Let's go to brother Pearson. So, tell us about yourself.
Good night, everybody. My name is Pearson Stroud. I am supposed to be one of the resource persons tonight, but I'm also here to learn as well. I am a member of the Asheville Avenue Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I have been a teacher. I've worked as a counselor. At present, I work with juveniles who are coming in conflict with the law. So that's where I am for today. For tonight, that's what we're going to talk about.
All right, Alan, nice meeting you. And I'm not sure if we have met personally, but we have spoken before. Again, welcome to Youth Life. Is this your first time or you have been here before?
No, I have done a few youth lives coming up to the conference to do a few sessions before, and we have met. I remember preaching at
good.
sometime.
So you're a regular batsman for Youth Life. Thank you so much, Sister Palmer, Sally and Charles Palmer.
Happy Sabbath and good night. I am Sister Sally Palmer, Charles Palmer. I attend the Seventh-day Adventist Church at St. James in St. Andrews. I am a guidance counselor at the McDonald College and also a clinical psychologist. I'm a lover of people, especially young people.
All right, Sister Palmer, thank you again. We appreciate your presence here tonight. And we are looking forward to an exciting discussion this evening. All right, Brother Charles, and then Sister Sandy.
All right, pleasant good night to everyone and a happy Sabbath. My name is Jelani Charles. I'm a member of the Adventist Church in St. David's. I'm an invested master guide and just love socializing, spending time with youth and having fun.
All right, having fun. That sounds good, man. That sounds good. So that means you should not be too stressed. That sounds good. Sister Sandy. Sister Sandy, tell us about you.
Good night. My name is Davina Sandy. I am a member of the SDA Church at St. David's as well. I am the Deputy Master Guide Director and stalwart for youth in my church.
All right. So tonight we have a good cadre, a solid panelist, those who are youth, and I heard a new term this week, senior youth. Well, I don't know who that is, but we have some young persons here. We have some persons who have gone through their youthful days, but they're still active supporting the young persons. So tonight we are in for a solid discussion. We have young persons, father, mother figures. So let's open our discussion tonight. Now, I think important in our discussion, but before we go, let me just hail up some persons in the chat. So I will hail up at least two persons, and I'll ask Brother Charles to hail up two, and then we will try to route it as much as possible. So in the house, we're seeing Georgiana Matthew. She's saying happy Sabbath and God bless. Georgiana, may God bless you. We have Jasmine Simon. She's saying happy Sabbath to all. She's happy Sabbath. May God bless you. We have Ella Sears saying good night and pleasant Sabbath to my brothers and sisters. Thank you so much, Ella Sears. Brother Charles, Daryl Charles, help me hail two persons as well. And then Brother Patrick, you will go after Glenroy, sorry, in hailing persons you see on Facebook and on YouTube.
All right, so I'm looking through here on Facebook. I see Sister Emmons, Betty and Emmons saying happy Sabbath to everyone. Also, Sister Judith Best is saying a happy Sabbath to everyone. And we also have someone from Carriacou, Gloria Hamilton, saying happy Sabbath to my brethren. And from the sister isle of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So we have the Grenadines in the house as well tonight. Happy Sabbath to you all.
All right, Brother Patrick, you would help us with hailing some persons as well?
Okay, well, I see here Arnold Ross saying happy Sabbath. Shari Modest saying happy Sabbath. Kimmy Patterson McBean, happy Sabbath. Karen Hostad, love my peeps, happy Sabbath. Judy Alexander, happy Sabbath. Samura Jamal Best, happy Sabbath. Catherine Phillips saying happy Sabbath, person. Kaprina Bula, happy Sabbath, brothers and sisters.
All right, so thank you so much, Patrick. And we have somebody from Carriacou. They're saying happy Sabbath to us. Pat Douglas. So all of you, happy Sabbath. Thank you so much for joining us. Please remember, like and share the page. Now, I will ask Sister Sally to help me hail some persons as well. But while she does that, I will begin the ball. I will bowl the first ball to Sandy. So Sandy, my question is because Sandy, we need to establish a foundation for our discussion. So I'm asking you the first question, what do you think a conflict is? So you've defined conflict for us. And I'd love to hear also Cecile as well with his definition of conflict, all right? So Sandy and then Cecile. Stapama, help me hail some persons as well, please.
Okay, I see Brother Bola, Cyprian Bola. He's saying happy Sabbath, brothers and sisters. Brother Cyprian, happy Sabbath. It's been a while. Hope you and the family are doing fine. We have Sister Deborah Q saying happy Sabbath from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Happy Sabbath, Sister Deborah. Hope you and the family are safe and fine.
All right, thank you so much, Sister Palmer. So again, remember, we need your help. And getting your help is you helping us is quite easy. And it is like, share, like, share, like, share. If I could have sing, I would have put some beat to that and sing it to you, like, share. But I will not embarrass myself on live, tonight. So, but put a bit in your own mind, like, share, like, share, like, share. All right. So, Sandy, tell us tonight, what is a conflict? Can you define the word conflict for us tonight?
Well, I understand conflict to be a disagreement, and well, a serious one, because it's not just anything, and it goes beyond just the normal conversational where you disagree with someone and there's a easy resolve. With a conflict, it's something a little bigger or a larger issue that needs a little bit more thought in being put into it.
All right. So conflict is something big. It's like a bomb, or like an atom bomb. All right.
If you want to express it like that, then yes.
Okay. 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 Um, Cecil, tell us, what do you think a conflict is, or let's define conflict.
Well, to my understanding, conflict is when two persons with different ideas or opinions have a disagreement or a confrontation of their differences, and it goes beyond just an argument, and a disagreement is more, I would say, there's one person attacking the other, or sometimes both persons attacking each other verbally.
All right. Okay. So you're going a little deeper. Um, Let me just pinpoint on Brother Junior. Brother Junior, tell me tonight. So we have kind of defined conflict a little. You can still define it if you choose, but in addition to your definition of conflict, tell me, are conflicts always negative, or is there anything positive about conflict?
Well, if I should say, conflict, my personal definition is conflict is a clash of interests between two
All right.
individuals. Yeah. And it could be both positive and negative because sometimes, all right, no, let me be careful what I say now. Um, yes, it could be positive because sometimes, actually, let me be clear. No, it's not. Personally, no, it's not because the main reason why I argue because sometimes when your arguments start, now you get heated, a conflict. So people not really thinking and you're just saying anything that comes to mind, and it becomes aggressive. So I would say it could be positive, but most of the time it's mostly negative.
All right. Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Junior. Now, Brother Charles, I heard from all your colleagues. So I need to hear from you too. So, tell me, do you think conflicts can be positive or conflicts are always negative?
Um, well, first of all, conflict is just basically a serious disagreement between or arguments between two parties. And I wouldn't deem it either positive or negative, but it could be in a sense where it's not entirely negative. Because, for example, we can have two complete different opinions or different point of views on a particular situation, and in itself the point of view that we both have may not be wrong, but we can have a conflict or an argument for that. For example, we may have a conflict in a church meeting. One person may say, let's go have a crusade. Another person would say, no, let's have an open air. In itself, the discussion or the outcome of both sides may not be negative or it may not be positive, but the conflict, what we do after that, what our resolution is what would make it in turn positive or negative.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Charles. Now, in the chat, we are getting some these questions here. Mercy said no silly is saying it can be both. And then she said again, he or she said conflict is a disagreement or an argument, typically protracted one. Journal Grant Hamlet says, to me, a conflict is simply a difference in opinions. All right. Randall Phillip is saying conflicts are not always negative. Conflicts are basically differences in opinion. Um, and Shari Modest is saying conflict is a serious disagreement or argument. All right, so tonight we are getting a lot of discussion on that. So keep them coming so we can help discuss that. Now, tonight, just before we take the first skit, I think I should bring in one of my middle order batsmen to help with that. So I will ask Sister Sally Palmer to share with me, do you think that, because they have kind of defined it already, you can if you'd like to, but do you think that conflicts are always negative, or you think they are positive conflicts and so forth? So tell us, Sister Palmer.
Um, I think Gilonry has put it quite nicely. It don't always have to be negative, but sometimes it's based on the end result, how you resolve it, because we can have a disagreement or a difference in opinion that can bring about a good result. And I like how Mr. William James put it. He says, whenever you're in a conflict with someone, there is one factor that can make the difference between damaging a relationship or deepening it, and that factor is attitude. So it depends on the attitude of the individuals in the conflict. It will result whether you have a damaging relationship or whether the relationship is strengthened as a result of that conflict.
All right, all right. So I'm getting a little more stuff. All depends on the attitude of the person's relationship. Now, I see Junior is raising his hand. So Junior, come in, man, and let's discuss it. And then we will go to Cecile. So Junior.
I was just adding that it's like, for instance, two person looking over a number, 6. One person will see it as 6, another person see it as a 9. And they will be both going back and forth. It's a 6, it's a 9, it's a 6, it's a 9. But basically, none of them is really wrong, but they're not seeing it at the other person's perspective.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so we're getting into that thing tonight. I like the discussion, and I like the way the young persons are sharing their thoughts. So Cecil, would you like to share something with us as well?
Yeah, well, I would like to, first of all, disagree with the statements that were made earlier that conflict can be good or bad. I believe that conflict is always negative. Doesn't matter, well, yes, well, yeah. Conflict is always negative because it's basically an attack on someone's opinion or a clash. And a clash, as everyone knows, is nothing good. But I believe that conflict, though it is bad, is the end result that matters. So though conflict may have a heated disagreement between two persons, at the end of each conflict, one person at least learns that their opinion was wrong and this opinion was right. So I believe conflict teaches not only as the end result, but as going through conflict, persons learn how to resolve it. There is no better teacher than experience itself.
All right, all right. So we're getting a few dynamics coming in here. So not only are we getting that conflicts, the way it is handled can make positive, but I'm getting as well like you learn from conflicts. All right. So tonight I think now we'll go to a short skit, and then we will come back. Now, when you view the short skit, please you can add your suggestions in the comment section. You can speak to us in the comment section because you are family. We want to hear from you. We want to hear how you think so you could guide us in our discussion. So let's now go to the skits.
Hello? I'm tired of giving up my tablet. Isn't my education important too? So what if I'm not doing CXC? I have the right to learn too. This thing has been bothering me for weeks now. I finally got it off my chest and my mother thinks I'm so disrespectful. Apart from that, they still expect me to get up after 5 for family worship. Tell me, why should I wake up so early if we're home for the whole day? Can't we set a later time for that? And it doesn't stop there. Everybody has to remember which part of the house I can use during the certain hours. When I forget, they think I'm selfish and it's like a war zone in there. I'm not used to being in the same house with these people 24/7. Sometimes I feel like I've been kidnapped and placed in a stranger's house. I didn't know that my dad likes to listen to music loudly, or that my sister has to tap the table when she's studying. When I speak about it, my dad says he listens to his music loudly on his way from work, and my sister says that tapping helps her. But no one stopped to ask me what will be comfortable for me. School will just have to wait. For today, I'm socially distancing myself. Hello? I'm tired of giving up my tablet. Isn't my education important too? So what if I'm not doing CXC? I have the right to learn too. This thing has been bothering me for weeks now. I finally got it off my chest and my mother thinks I'm so disrespectful. Apart from that, they still expect me to get up after 5 for family worship. Tell me, why should I wake up so early if we're home for the whole day? Can't we set a later time for that? And it doesn't stop there. Everybody has to remember which part of the house I can use during the certain hours. When I forget, they think I'm selfish and it's like a war zone in there. I'm not used to being in the same house with these people 24/7. Sometimes I feel like I've been kidnapped and placed in a stranger's house. I didn't know that my dad likes to listen to music loudly, or that my sister has to tap the table when she's studying. When I speak about it, my dad says he listens to his music loudly on his way from work, and my sister says that tapping helps her. But no one stopped to ask me what will be comfortable for me. School will just have to wait. For today, I'm socially distancing myself. Hello? I'm tired of giving up my tablet. Isn't my education important too? So what if I'm not doing CXC? I have the right to learn too. This thing has been bothering me for weeks now. I finally got it off my chest and my mother thinks I'm so disrespectful. Apart from that, they still expect me to get up after 5 for family worship. Tell me, why should I wake up so early if we're home for the whole day? Can't we set a later time for that? And it doesn't stop there. Everybody has to remember which part of the house I can use during the certain hours. When I forget, they think I'm selfish and it's like a war zone in there. I'm not used to being in the same house with these people 24/7. Sometimes I feel like I've been kidnapped and placed in a stranger's house. I didn't know that my dad likes to listen to music loudly, or that my sister has to tap the table when she's studying. When I speak about it, my dad says he listens to his music loudly on his way from work, and my sister says that tapping helps her. But no one stopped to ask me what will be comfortable for me. School will just have to wait. For today, I'm socially distancing myself.
All right, so
Hello?
tonight we are discussing conflicts. Now, we would like to bring this discussion to the home setting. And I think we have established a solid foundation on the entire issue of conflicts. So tonight we want to continue setting that foundation and building from there. Now, in our chat tonight we have various persons. We have Smiley Clem saying happy Sabbath. We have Ramp Williams saying she's just letting us know that it keeps on repeating. Thank you so much. We didn't know, but now we are aware of it. Thank you so much. Isaac Andrew says we respect person's opinion, but we do not always agree with it. Every man has a right to his own opinion. All right, all right. Then we have Cassandra Strong saying conflicts help to bring new perspectives to the table. Differences in opinion cannot be parallel to quarrels or fights. A lot of interventions came from conflicts. Different opinions collaborated to come up with brilliant ideas. Okay, wow, wow. Now we have Earl Robert saying, when one goes against a sound principle divinely ordered, there will be conflicts. It starts in the mind. Wow. And that's why we need your input. We need you to help us discuss this thing, because I'm getting some solid points coming out from you this evening. Then we have Jamal Belfon said, for example, if I disagree with someone who says that the day of worship is Sunday, because it is actually the seventh day, that's not negative, because I can bring truth to that person. All right. So let's now go back to our panelists as we discuss this conflict thing tonight. All right. So we see the discussion here. Sandy, tell me, based upon the video you just saw a while ago, can you share with me what are the conflict or conflicts that you see in the video?
Well, there's a conflict in terms of the young man not being understood, or his parents not being able to understand what he's going through, especially with this new regime of school online. as we have it now. It's a bit of a difficult something for parents to understand because sometimes they're not exposed to everything that their child goes through, even on a normal school day where they're in school. They don't get to experience what happens, how much work is done in a normal school day. They only get to experience probably the homework period. And even certain things that he mentioned in terms of what he did not know about his family, with his sister tapping the table to study and his father liking to listen to loud music. A lot of things has changed. And for me, I believe when certain things like that have to be, when they have changed, probably a communication should have taken place so that the family knows what can be done so that nobody else is agitated and that everyone can be pleased, so to speak.
All right, thank you so much. You have shared a lot. Now that leads me to asking maybe Cecil a question. Cecil, in this scenario, the skit we just saw, um, can you share maybe one or two ways that both parties could have prevented and solved that conflict?
Well, first of all, one of the ways to avoid all conflicts or to resolve conflict is to figure out what is the cause of the conflict, and then to communicate with the parties the two parties in the conflict, so that they know well what is going on, why this is happening, and why they should not do such actions. So if he communicates with the persons in his family, then things would be so much easier. His sister, well, could at least tap somewhere else, and his father could glue down the music or even shut it off while he is doing his work. This conflict most likely came about because of the lack of communication in the family, and also a misunderstanding. As he says, his mother thinks he is very disrespectful as he's trying to bring across his point. That is also another cause of conflict. The ways to resolve it is to find out what causes it and to deal with that matter.
All right, okay, okay. So Cecil is saying we need to find out what the conflicts are and deal with it. All right. So Junior, we have seen what the conflicts are, but Junior, how do you think we can solve that conflict in the home?
Well, you could create a schedule maybe because the boy is saying that how he sees is that, oh, my sister work is more important than mine.
Okay.
So they could create a schedule so that based on the time he have to use it, that his sister could wait and vice versa, and then he maybe go and communication also talk to his father, tell him that, say, dad, I have music, your music is too loud, I have work going on, say it in a nice respectful way that they will understand, and then that conflict could be avoided.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But it appears, panelists, to me that in the home, there might be a limitation when it comes to the devices. So maybe there maybe have been one phone or one laptop to be shared among the siblings as well. I think I am getting that. Somebody is saying, Terence Batiste is saying, some conflict bring you down. Some conflicts can bring you down and make you stronger than before. Mercy said, no silly is saying compromise is needed here. Isaac Andrew is saying, drummer indicated that people do not want to communicate and state what they cannot agree with. Come, let us reason together. All right, so let me bring a question here, and I will ask Brother Strong to answer it after Brother Charles has answered it. Um, Brother Charles, how can, in the Caribbean setting, how can you advise young persons and children to communicate with their parents? And after Brother Strong, you have answered it. Sister Sally, you would tell us how can parents now communicate with their children? Go ahead, Brother Charles.
All right, so that's a very good question because as we know lately, with the coronavirus, with the lockdown and so on, it's posed a challenge on a lot of families. In the case that, for example, students go to school from 8 to 2 o'clock. You leave home sometimes 7 o'clock before that, and the time you get home, parents at work. By the time everyone is at home, it's preparation for bed, and you wake up the next morning, and the routine continues. So there's not, for some families, that is, there has not been much of an in-depth communication between both parents and children. So what can be done to assist with communication is to start with small talk. How was your day? Um, what assignments did you get today? Not necessarily looking for a problem to solve, but starting a conversation before there is even a problem, so that when a problem does arise, it would not be an awkward situation when that person tries to approach you or speak to you about something. And also, if before a conflict even arises, if there is a problem, it shouldn't always be you are doing this or you are doing that, but also a case where you can try and come up with a solution where both parties can be happy. For example, in the short skit that we saw, the father, for example, playing music loudly. The son could just say, sometimes when I'm doing my work, the music kind of disturbs me. Maybe you can try using a headphone, or maybe playing the music from in your room, or coming up with some solution that would make both parties be compromised in one scenario, but not lose interest in communicating with each other.
Oh boy, thank you so much. So parents, I hope the parents are listening, and young people, you are listening. It is us young people sharing with you ideas and solutions for conflicts. And I saw Junior just nodding his head. Yes, man, you are speaking truth. You are speaking truth. I can see that. All right. Ella Pearson.
I don't think there is much to add really. The only thing I would add to what young Charles has said is that, listen, I think one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that when we are in relationship with anybody, one of the things that we have to be careful about is that we don't develop perceptions about people and their actions before we check in with them. We have to be careful, and as young persons, we have to be careful because, again, we go back to the skit. There is a sense that the main actor is feeling uncared for, but is that really the truth? That is his perception. Is that really the truth? Is it that daddy isn't doesn't care, or is it that he doesn't even that he's accustomed to a particular way of doing things, and now that he is home, that he has not yet checked himself that he has to change his modus operandi. So I think the point that the young people were making should be reinforced, communicating. So that person or the young person has to remind daddy, like, daddy at home, I'm doing school work now, and in a very respectful way. So we have to be very careful that we don't create perceptions in our mind about persons, especially family members and people who we love in a relationship, not caring or so. You cannot have a true perception of a reality unless you check in with it, unless you make sure that that really is the case. So that's the only thing I really add to what Charles has said because I think he has covered it exceptionally well.
Thank you so much, Ella. Thank you so much. So, Sister Palmer.
Yes, I want to say I agree with um, the young people, both Junior and Charles, and also Brother Shroud. Communication is key. And parents have to realize communication do not happen overnight. So from since your daughter or son, from a very young age, you build this trusting relationship with them where they can come to you and share their feelings, and you are open and have a nice discussion with them about how they feel, so the child do not feel um, alone or neglected, where when they are faced with certain issue, and that is one of the biggest problems that we're having with parents and children relationship. The fact that sometimes we have children whose minds are still developing, and we want them to behave as us adults whose minds have already finished or brain have already finished develop. So we have to give the young people, the children in your home, parents, give them a listening ear. Listen to what they have to say. Avoid calling them names. Be positive about it. You may not agree with what they are saying, but you listen to them. Let them know that, hey, mommy or daddy is here. They listen to me. They may not agree with me. And there must be structure. In that situation with the young man, um, maybe the structure that they had at home is no longer existence with the whole COVID situation. So I see this problem could have been solved with the limited amount of devices in the house. Um, Maybe the week after school would have closed for the COVID period. Um, a family meeting could have been called and structures put in place as to how the device would be used, and everybody agreed upon that whatever is discussed in the family meeting, so that everybody feel part and parcel and nobody feel neglected.
All right, thank you so much, Sister Palmer. Wow. So the discussion is really leading us to getting information so that we can better live together, we can better serve each other as family members. Just before I take Devian, just want to share a few of the comments. We have Shirley Charles saying, true brother strong. Ledlow saying, happy Sabbath to all. Then Ronald Phillips saying, happy Sabbath. Earl Roberts is saying, with wisdom, parents should befriend their children, not to compromise their authority, but to soften the path to common reason and a lasting bonds. Now, our Facebook and YouTube friends tonight, you are sharing some quotes that I think that we should even kind of highlight them and make them into official quotes. That one is very wise. I'll read it again. With wisdom, parents should befriend their children, not to compromise their authority, but to soften the path to common reason and lasting bonding. And Pastor Lambert is in the house. He says, a lot of parents or some parents believe that the way or what they said is gospel and should never be challenged or questioned by the children. As a result, children sometimes protest in a passive aggressive manner. Some of the old time parents don't allow their children to question their or express themselves because it is most times considered rude. You plain man, woman, you plain man or woman in the house. I remember those days. Then we have Jamal Belford saying, what should be done is that the whole family comes to an agreement where everyone will benefit. Then we have Eva Howard said, at least once a week. Now, my friends, hear this good suggestion. At least once a week, there should be a family meeting to discuss and share everyone's activities. All right. So I think these are good suggestions, my friends, and I think that parents who are listening and also young people who are listening, let us learn from it. So Devian, and after Devian, we will go straight to our next skit and we can discuss that for a bit. Devian.
I just wanted to ask a question based on what Sir Palmer would have said in terms of creating a good relationship or trusting relationship with your children from a young age. What if parents would not have done that and now they have teenagers and they're having issues? How are they to go about creating that trusting issue at such a late age?
Oh, wow, that's a power pack question. Now, I will send that question to your colleagues. All right, so let me ask Cecile. Did you hear the question, Cecile?
Yes, Pastor.
All right, so can you answer that? Let's give some parents some advice tonight.
Well, I would say if you feel to do that at an early age, prayer is power, and I mean there is nothing that God can do, so we should always go to Him when we have problems. And then, even though you fail to develop a relationship with your child at a young age, I mean, children are understandable. And I mean, sometimes parents fail to do what they should, but that doesn't mean that they can't do it afterwards. So, I mean, if they fail to do it earlier on, then they can try. And as I said, as long as they pray and ask God, He will do what the Lord does. He will answer your prayer.
Oh wow, that's powerful, man. You sound like a psychologist, a clinical counselor. Wow, that's powerful. All right, so let's go to Patrick Jr. Um, can you please help us with that answering that question as well, and then we'll go to Charles.
Pass, I think it had a little bit of mix up because I mean, I am Cecil and Patrick Jr. So.
Oh, sorry. So let's go to Junior. Thank you so much. Let's go to Junior. Junior, the other Junior, yes.
I didn't hear the question clearly.
All right. Okay, good. So, Davian, would you like to repeat your question so Junior can hear your question?
I was asking, based on what Sister Palmer said about a trusting relationship at a young age, if someone would not have done that, how can they now create a trusting relationship with, say, a teenager?
All right. So, Junior, would you have with that question now?
Yeah. Well, I think Cecil covered it mostly, but if I should say, communication is key. So even though he was missed at a younger age, it's still not too late to communicate. At least try to build a relationship from the time. You can't do nothing about the past, but you have power over the future, if you know what I mean. So you could build a relationship there and pray, prayer is important. So that's my answer.
And that is solid. So parents, we are hearing it. If you miss or you drop the ball someplace in your children's life, there is always an opportunity to fix things. All right, thank you so much, young people. So let's go to the next skit, and then we'll come back and we'll enter some more discussion in regard to the next skit.
I don't give up my tablet. Isn't my education important too? So what if I'm not doing CXC? I have the right to learn too. This thing has been bothering me for weeks now. I finally got it off my chest and my mother thinks I'm so disrespectful. Apart from that, they still expect me to get up after 5 for family worship. Tell me, why should I wake up so early if we're home for the whole day? Can't we set a later time for that? And it doesn't stop there. Everybody has to remember which part of the house I can use during the certain hours. When I forget, they think I'm selfish and it's like a war zone in there. I'm not used to being in the same house with these people 24/7. Sometimes I feel like I've been kidnapped and placed in a stranger's house. I didn't know that my dad likes to listen to music loudly, or that my sister has to tap the table when she's studying. When I speak about it, my dad says he listens to his music loudly on his way from work, and my sister says that
I am fed up. Fed up. This house certainly wasn't made for all these people at the same time. I mean, when we're sleeping, it's okay. But definitely not school, office, restaurant, game, and daycare. Still? No. Can I confess something? I'm not sure I can actively, be mother and teacher at the same time. I'm not sure. I have to be responding to calls, have to be responding to emails. It can be frustrating at times. I have to be studying if them trying and need something to eat. And before you know it, I hear myself shouting. It can be frustrating. It's like I just don't understand that there are certain hours for certain things to take place. And then there goes my kids. Mom, can I have a snack? Mom, can you help me with this question? Mom, help me with this. Mom, can I have this? Mom, can I have a drink? And then there goes my boss with some more issue. I mean, who should I listen to? I need my space. I need my lunch hour. I need my pay. I need my full pay. Because the demands of these children are worrying me. I mean, family time is good. It's good to be able to spend time together with your family. But it's frustrating. It's driving me insane.
All right, so we are back after this short or brief skit. All right, so let me go back to the chat and hear what our people are saying, because what you're saying is very important to us. So we really want you to discuss with us, because your discussion we really appreciate. Earl Roberts is saying, as humans, there are no human issues that is too late to be resolved, regardless of how old you or young we are. We are to humble ourselves prayerfully to gain and restore our loved ones. Pastor Lombard Paul is saying, parents have to and must come to their children and say, I am sorry for the for my method of parenting, for the method of parenting I have been using, and can you forgive me? And then relationship can start to rebuild. Then we have
I love that response, Pastor.
then we have Nova Null saying it's never too late to mend relationships between parent and child. It may take a longer time, but once the child teen sees that the parents are trying to have that trusting relationship, they will be able to build that relationship with God's help. Then we have Shelley Charles saying, well said, my brother, there is still hope for parents. All right, so saints of God, we really appreciate your comments. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We want you to keep them coming. All right, so let me start with Brother Charles. Brother Charles, you saw the skit. Um, First question is, what are the conflicts and how do you see the conflicts can be, how do you see the conflicts can be resolved, or how can they have been prevented?
All right. So from that skit, we do see that there is a lot of conflicts going on. However, just to try and stick a little bit with the team as regards to relationship with parents and children, because for example, we see she's having conflict also as regards to her work, where she works, having to balance all of that. But as regards to, for example, children, well, in that particular video, we did notice that the two children that were shown were basically toddlers or babies. They may not be able to assist as much as possible. But one way that some of these particular conflicts can be avoided in a household is if everyone chips in to assist in any way possible. Children helping out with chores and assisting in any way. So what can be done is maybe even setting a home schedule or a home timetable in a sense. Students, letting parents know what it is they have to do, saying, okay, I have class from 8 to 9 o'clock or 9 to 10, but between 12 and 1 o'clock, I don't have any classes. So during this period of time, you can either use it as a family time or at some point in time where the students or the children in the household can be able to assist each other so that all of the burden may not fall upon one person. And also as parents, as we said earlier, the communication is key. So for both children communicating with parents and also parents communicating with children, once there is communication, then there's a lot of possibilities that can arise from that to just divulge away from those conflicts and problems.
Thank you so much, Brother Charles. So we'll ask Davian again um, to share with us. Davian, what are the conflicts you saw? How can they be resolved, or how can they be avoided? Davian?
Well, from this, I'm seeing that she has younger children, so I'll just address that first. Even as she has younger children, maybe she can start to show them how they can help. So then you grow them up in that helping space. And even when they are burdened down with school, they would know that, okay, it's something that I should do to help mommy. But if it were older children, like Johnny was saying, it's best to know everybody's schedule, know what has to be done, because you don't want to, like the young man previously, burden them. They don't probably not understanding, or they don't know that he has class from 1 to 2. So that's a period when his mother decides she wants him to wash the dishes, whereas he's preoccupied. So things like that should be known beforehand so that they can be addressed and that they would not, no one would feel that they're not cared for.
Thank you so much, Sister Davina, right? Davina. So I finally got it correct. You might have been laughing at me all the time. All right. All right. So then we have Alicia Stevens says there is an imbalance, and because of that, conflicts most likely arises. She needs more help because children need to communicate and build relationship with both parents, not just one. Earl Robert says the burden comes with there being a lack of order and discipline in the homes. Wow. Cheryl Edwards says mothers are always their children's first. And again, I'm sharing with you these quotes, that the things that you share with us sounds like quotes, man. We should, post that and say from Mission Life, man. Solid stuff, solid stuff. Now at this time, we'll pause again and we'll go now to Real Talk. All right, so let's hear what other persons are saying on Real Talk.
It's important to spend time with my family and personal time because I live with my family and I need to, have more time and things with them. And personal time, I like to interact with my age.
Apart from online classes, explain the importance of striking a balance between having a healthy relationship with your parents and your personal time.
It is important because one shouldn't consume themselves doing one thing whole day.
Let's go.
Do you sometimes feel a bit frustrated that no one cares whether or not they infringe on your me time?
Yes, I do.
How do you react when you feel that the relationship boundaries have been overstepped by your parents?
Well, I could talk to my mom about that one because me and her have a really close relationship.
What ideas can you suggest to help guide healthy family boundaries between parents and children?
Well, they can respect your private space and you can set a time during the day to spend with them.
At the beginning of the stay-at-home order, how long did you expect it to last? Were you happy to be at home all day?
I expected it to last 2 to 3 weeks, and of course I was happy to be home.
Would you say that you're an introverted or an extroverted person?
I'm an introverted person because I like to keep my feelings to myself.
With all this time at home, have you purposely seized any opportunity to strengthen your relationship with your family?
Yes, I did. We even had family game night and even had a karaoke night.
At the beginning of the stay-at-home order, how long did you expect it to last? Were you happy to be at home all day?
At the beginning of the stay-home order, I expected to be home for at least a month. And yes, at first I was very happy at being home. At the beginning of the stay-home order, I expected to be home for at least 2 months.
Would you say that you are an introverted or an extroverted person?
I consider myself to be a mixture of both.
With all this time at home, have you purposefully seized any opportunity to strengthen your relationship with your family?
Yes, during this time, my family and I have been partaking in a lot of different events. We've been spending more time together, more time in the kitchen, more time outside. We have a backyard garden. So yes, I would say I have been actively trying to spend more time with my family.
I also think I've been spending more time with my family in that we've been cooking more things, discovering recipes, socializing more, and just being there together more.
Question 4. Apart from online classes, explain the importance of striking a balance between having a healthy relationship with your parents and your personal time.
I think you should have a balance in that you should know how much time to spend on your computer and how much time you should spend with your family.
Do you sometimes feel a bit frustrated that no one cares whether or not they infringe on your me time?
Yes, I feel a bit frustrated when my personal time has been infringed on.
How do you react when you feel that the relationship boundaries have been overstepped by your parent?
I get annoyed, and then my next reaction would be to try to space myself out. I would go tend to my plants, read a book, find a little corner, and just meditate.
At the beginning of the stay-at-home order, how long did you expect it to last? Were you happy to be at home all day?
Well, I knew it was going to be a very long time, so I would say around 6 to 7 months, approximately. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a long time, and I have no problem whatsoever staying home. I love to be at home. Home is my safe place. I really feel the most comfortable at home. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love to be at home.
Would you say that you are an introverted or an extroverted person?
I think of myself as an introverted person. I don't really say that much, and I'm always in my mind. If you look at me during the day, I'm always thinking about something, and I don't really speak out as much as any normal person would. I just love to be in my mind.
With all this at home, have you purposefully seized any opportunity to strengthen your relationship with your family?
Yes, I have. I took the initiative upon myself to start a garden. I invited my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister. They all helped out in their little way, and we did it as a family. You know, at evenings I would go fill up the buckets, and my dad would take them down to the garden and we'll water the plants together. And it was very fun and interesting and educational as well.
Do you sometimes feel a bit frustrated that no one cares whether or not they infringe on your me time?
Yes, I feel very much frustrated when someone comes and infringe on my me time. You know, when you get that sensation of relaxing and being free from worries and stuff like that, and then someone just comes and take that time away from you is very frustrating. It gets me angry and annoyed, but you know, not supposed to let these things get to you, but things like that really gets on my nerve.
How do you react when you feel that the relationship boundaries have been overstepped by your parents?
Well, I don't really have that problem with my parents. Um, you know, as every parent and child will have the disagreements and arguments, we have that as well, but we don't really go step over each other's personal boundaries and things like that. So it's not really a problem to us.
Staying home. How these are good questions, you know. I guess for most of us, the first week was all right, the second week was all right. When you got to the third week, we're like, ah. I miss the beach, I miss my friends, and so forth. All right, so we'll, I think these are good discussions tonight, and it's good to know that there are some families who use the time they had family time, games night, movie night. They were in the kitchen together, backyard garden, a good vibe happening. Dolisha Lambert Henry saying yes, have eaten produce from the great garden. Good job, Tamrick. All right. Wendy Duncan Modest is saying, from the skit, it appears that the father is absent and the responsibilities of the home rest solely on the mother. Fathers have equal responsibilities, especially when the mother is fully employed, so that the mother is not overburdened and results. The problem with the mother and kids, these children cannot help. Where is the father in all of this? And allow me to answer with a smile. Good question. Wrong person. I have no idea where the father is. I'm just playing. But you are correct. Fathers have an important role to play in the lives of their children. And fathers must take that role seriously. Seriously. Let me ask Sister Sandy. We have been at home for about 3 months now. How are you enjoying that? Do you miss school? Do you miss your friends? Do you miss going to St. George's, the mall, and so forth?
Well, I was never much of a mall person or going out on that level, but at the beginning, I missed work. I missed going out because although I don't hang out with my friends in terms of going to town and that sort of thing, we tend to do little game nights or little chats. So I really miss that. Although about the third or fourth week, I started going back to work. So I had a little outdoor experience. So it wasn't so bad. But I wish I was out more out and about, especially, I had a somewhat of a nightlife in terms of coming home a bit after 7, going to exercise on evenings. I really miss that. So has been a bit tough in terms of socialization because, like the question asked, are you an extrovert or introvert? It's not a definite, but I fall more on the extrovert scale. So not having as much people to speak with or as talk to on a daily basis is a little difficult for me.
Or understand that although while most of us were under house arrest, still you were still able to go to work, which is good. All right, brother Charles, it appears that you said that you love fun. How did that? How did you manage through that 3 month period?
For me, similar to Sister Sandy, at first it wasn't as bad, you kind of enjoyed a little at home time. But for persons that know me, for example, two of my major hobbies are photography and sports. Normally on Sundays, every Sunday, we have a group of us from our church that we would call it our sweat day. Go play basketball or volleyball or football, and kind of missing that outdoor socialization with them, getting to have that physical activity and so on. Kind of missed that. Although at home sometimes in my yard and so on, I still get my camera out, do some pictures of nature and so on. But it takes a lot of readjusting from your normal day-to-day schedule, working from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 or whatever your shifts may be, and being able to maybe stay out late, socialize with your friends, do certain things that you would do on a normal day, and having to completely cut it out, not even gradually, but all of a sudden it takes some getting used to, but I'm there. I'm hanging in there.
My brother, hug it there. For me, man, I couldn't wait for holiday. I wanted holiday. Now when I hear holiday, I'm like holiday again, you know. So it's like it's upside down. And knowing for Grenada Conference, Monday coming would have been a big day for us. But now, that kind of thing. But again, we have to do what we have to do to stay healthy and stay safe and that kind of thing. Let me take brother Pearson. I mean, you are a father figure. How has that staying home? How has it been for you?
Well, for me, I was home, but I had to work as well, so I had to work from home. But I think one of the things that the young people would have spoken about is, I think, what would have carried us through, and some of the comments that some of the people online have been making. You can't do this really right on. If you're doing it alone, it's difficult. And so my wife and I, we have a schedule, a structure for my son who's in school and then the baby who's a toddler. So everybody has their part. We had a garden that we go in the afternoon and go outside and weed the plants and everybody, baby and all, holding buckets of water and everything. So goats to take care of. So it's a structure, making sure you have a plan. So for me, what it meant for me really, in all honesty, this time gave me something of an opportunity to reconnect with God a little bit more, really take my spirituality more seriously. Looking at the signs of the times, and you realize that this is not playful time. This is like serious business. Jesus is going to come soon, and we got to get serious about some things. So that was really what it meant for me, really. Having a structure, doing those things, but really making sure that as a family, we have family time. And for us, family worship is like the family time. So a part of family worship is the family time. We got to talk, ask questions, review different things. I think that's one of the things that we have to do is to rebuild the family altar and use that altar time, so to speak, as that time where we do all the check-ins and all the different things that we need to do and all the conflicts that we have. We need to work on it. So that was really what it meant for me, really.
All right, good stuff, Elder. Um, my friends, family, those of you on Facebook, on YouTube, share with us. How was it for you? How was the experience in at home for you? What did you miss? Dolisha Lombard Henry said, "I miss going out because one of my favorite hobbies is hiking, camping, and enjoying the outdoors." And I know some of you would have missed, I think, Loud Cry or Cry Aloud, something Barbados. And I know persons were ready and their bags were packed and so forth, So share with us, what would you have missed because of the stay home order? While you send in your messages, we will take us a nice song, a special song from Leroy.
accomplished something, and now his face I see. The King is coming. The King is coming. Praise God. He's coming for me.
All right, we are back and we have persons saying lovely singing ladies. Florence Cyrus, Sister Cyrus, good night to you. She's saying I'm truly enjoying the young people expressing how to solve conflict. Great, great program. And then we have, I think, Sister Lois. She says, sorry, great discussion tonight. This period has brought the family very much closer. Everyone being at home was great. We prayed, we ate, we worked, we shared, and just had a wonderful time together. Oh, that is lovely, sis. Great stuff, man. Especially the eating part. It's always good to eat when you are at home. So one person says the family that eats together stays together. All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate your comments and liking the page and sharing with us tonight. So tonight we just want to share some tips to conflict resolution. We just want to spend a few moments on that. So we'll ask Sister Palmer to share with us at least one tip to conflict resolution, and then Ella Pearson would share one, and then Sister Sandy would share one. So we have 3 tips coming out from each person.
Okay, so my tip would be open, fair communication.
All right, open, fair communication. All right, so both parents and young people, we have heard that. Open, fair communication. Brother Pearson?
In our colloquial parlance, we would say, "Don't beat around the bush." In the literature they call it Jenny slacking. Get to the point. Don't leave things hanging. Address things. Don't leave it hanging, because the longer you leave it hanging, the more it will fester, and the more it becomes and is perceived as a greater problem than it really truly might be.
All right, thank you so much. So we have open, fair communication. Don't leave it hanging. Deal with it. Don't be afraid. Deal with it. So, Sister Sandy.
All right, thank you so much.
There's quite a bit of issues, common issues that can happen in the parent-child relationship. For example, sometimes a curfews, but I believe that a curfew should not be, while parents believe that, yes, it's my house and you should come home at a certain time, it should also be a discussion so that the child feels that we have some say, and then they're less likely to rebel against it. So if you say, or you come to a consideration based on where they're going, what they're going to do, good time for them to return home, or even the mode of transportation they're going with. Are you taking bus? Then 8 o'clock is a better time because you might have to walk in. Or are you getting a ride? Maybe, okay, I can push to 11 based on your age. All these things, I believe communication is key, and it will also help to reduce the amount of conflict that can happen between the parents and the child.
So communication is important. Quick, let me ask you a question. Is this communication? I would love you to come home before 10. What time do you prefer coming? 9:50, 9:55, or 10 o'clock? Is that communication?
It can be based on the relationship that the parents and the child has, but to some extent, it somewhat seems like you're urging me to go with your 10 o'clock or something before that, or nothing past 10:15. So maybe a more open-ended question, and then we can work from there.
Okay, so you
as a parent could say, like, this is a good time that I would like you to come home at, because I prefer to have you home at that time. You know, there are things outside, or the community is not as safe as we would like it to be. And you give them the reason. So then even if they wanted to come at 10, they see your reasoning behind it, and they're more likely to agree with you.
All right, thank you so much. And again, our young people speaking. All right, so at this time, again, we'll pause for a poem, and we'll come back, and then we will try to wrap up our lovely discussion this evening.
tired with these children. I just don't know what to say. They feel like everything around here just has to go their way. Help me hang the clothes. No, not now. I'm busy doing something. But as the food done, guess who tiffin dumpling? Well, don't talk for my husband. Lord, I must say he's a blessing. But ever since this lockdown, every day he fixing something. I guess that's how he copes. And so I try not to bug. But sometimes he could just come inside and give his wife a hug.
Slowly going mad inside this house with all these people. I feel like there are chains around my hands and on my ankles. I can't go see my friends, and every time they call, it's come and hang that clothes for me or help me mop up this thing that fall.
You think it's you alone that's struggling in this mess? I tired with these teachers only posting up some tests. I try to stay focused, but you always on your phone. The TV playing loud and it's only pelt out of pelt stone.
You telling me that in my house I cannot play my TV? You paying this mortgage? And to think that you want to beat me. I tired hear y'all cuss, but where's my brush? Where's my lotion? I wish all you had that much energy for morning devotion.
I tired.
I'm fed up. It's hard.
I've had enough.
Lockdown with your family?
I'm telling you, it's tough.
Yes, we still live together, but we have our own lives.
The only way we can make this work is with a compromise.
I'll help more with the chores.
I'll try to keep the TV low.
Understand, respect, and love.
That's the only way to go.
I'm tired with these children. I just don't know what to say.
To everyone, we are discussing conflict within the ambits of the family. We have been having a tremendous, exciting discussion tonight. Our young people are on the ball, man. They're batting and they're batting well. So tonight we'll just give them about 30 seconds to just give us their closing thoughts on the entire issue. So we'll begin with Junior. Then we'll go to Patrick Jr., and then we'll go to Brother Charles, and then the rose among the roses, Sandy, will bring everything together.
Well, if I have a closing statement, it would be that communication is key. That's most important. Understanding everyone and their responsibility, that's important to us. And then, yes, I mean, communication, that's the main thing, communication. Once there is communication, then everything will be okay. That's my final remarks.
Okay, well, I would say the best solution to any problem is to prevent that problem. And one of the ways to prevent conflict is don't play the blame game. Don't blame each party. Communicate with each other so that you know what the problem is and put your heads together and find a way to solve it, because two heads are always better than one. And always take it to the Lord in prayer.
All right, Brother Charles.
All right. So for me, the closing point I would like to leave is also standing with Junior, ensuring that you keep that communication going. Ensure that you try to find an alternative to certain situations, even if it may be a compromise, and not compromise that would cause us to lower standards or stray away from God, but a compromise that would be able to make both parties happy. And also be able to, have a safe place where you can communicate with, just to keep that fire going in your life.
Thank you so much, Brother Charles. On point. So, Sister Sandy.
Well, I would also say communication is key. Parents as well as children need to learn how to communicate to one another, whether it begins somewhat with a sit down if there isn't already communication within the family or within the home. Like one of our commenters said, a family meeting. Have a family meeting so that we can come to a resolution and then go from there.
Brother Pearson and Sister Sally, we leave the end of the baton for you, so you could share with us. However, while Brother Pearson begins to speak, and after him is Sister Sally, we were asking you please to send in your prayer requests. All right, so please send in your prayer requests because we'd love to pray for you. So, Sister Palmer, you have 1 minute. Brother Pearson, you also have 1 minute.
Okay, the young people have said a lot. What I would like to say is that the Bible gives us a lot of instances and benefits of resolving conflict. We know that conflict is inevitable. We cannot run from it. It's all around us. And once you are living our life, you will face conflict. Matthew reminds us that if we sin against our brother, we have to go to him and confess our faults. And if he accepts, then you gain a brother. If he doesn't, then you take somebody with you and go and have a discussion with him. Paul reminds us that we should let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from us. And Solomon says in Proverbs 15:1, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. And we also, as parents and children, learn to say that we're sorry. We're not too big or too small to say that we're sorry for the wrongs that we would have done. Focus on do's. Some do's, focus on the problem. Do not focus on the person. Let's look at the problem that brought about the conflict and not the person who brought about the conflict. Listen actively. So you listen with your whole body. That is what is effective communication. You listen with your whole body, not you listen and you're doing something else. So listen with your whole body. Acknowledge each other's feelings. Please remember, in a conflict, you will be hurting, the other person will be hurting. So if you respect and acknowledge each other's feelings, then the conflict will be resolved even faster. Avoid attacking the other person. All right? And parents, remember, show your children love, encourage them, be there for them, support them. We know it's a difficult time, but we're asking you by God's grace, as much as possible, keep the structure that you had as much as possible. Keep the structure that you had before COVID into this present day. Have open communication, family time, give your children the time they need to express themselves. And we want you to listen attentively to what they have to say. And then you can share how you feel as well and make them understand that mommy or daddy is going through a rough time as well. And in a small way, they will understand and may be able to help you carry some of the burdens. So in everything, put God first, trust him, and I know he will deliver us from this thing. And remember, and this too shall pass.
Well, Sister Palmer, these too shall pass. Brother Pearson?
Yes, well, really two things. Remember, when we spoke about it earlier, and I want to emphasize it, perception. If I perceive you to be uncaring, if I perceive you to not be into or seeking my better interest, then it's going to be very difficult for me to be able to resolve conflict with you. So if I have the right perception, or if I at least try to understand where you might be coming from, then it will be a lot easier for me to resolve conflict with you. The second thing that we have to keep in mind about this whole thing with conflict is that not all conflict is negative. Psychologists always use this concept of how diamonds are made, because diamonds are actual stones that the earth has put pressure on over a period of time. And you get this very precious stone that is different but it only came about because of the pressure that was placed on it. Sometimes in life, it takes those type of things, conflicts, difficult times, hard times, to pull out the diamond in us. So don't be too afraid of conflict. Don't be too afraid of it, because it just might be the very thing that you need to blossom into the person that you are made to be. All right. Perception. Look at the person and see them as wanting your best interest, and you will make it a lot easier for you to approach them and deal with the things that you have to deal with. That's what I would say.
All right, thank you, my good elder. Thank you so much, panelists tonight. You did a fantabulous job. The information that you gave is priceless. Thank you so much this evening. First, I'll ask you and brother Junior to do our closing prayers for us. And we have a lot of prayer requests tonight. You may not be able to utter every one of them, but just want to share them. You have Alison Harris saying she needs prayer for physical healing. Margaret Begg saying I need prayer for health. Hazel Ann Henry, pray for her children. Anne-Marie James, pray for me and my family. Shari Modest, pray for my health, husband, and family. Jefferson Bud, pray for my friend. Silsilda Ramdin, pray for those they have lost. We have a prayer request from Sister Cyrus, Florence Cyrus. Pray for a young man with a blood tumor. I think that might be a blood clot in the head, and is given 72 hours to live by the doctors. And all of you who have shared your prayer requests, we really appreciate it. We have pastors and prayer warriors who are seeing your prayer requests. They will take it and they will be praying for you. So, Brother Junior and Brother Charles, please help us pray for those individuals.
Yeah. All right, let's pray. Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you for life, Lord, in health, strength. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for allowing us to go to church today. Thank you for all that you have helped us to accomplish. Thank you for keeping each and every one of us safe. Father, we come to you asking you for prayers for those who send in the prayer requests through the Facebook and YouTube platform, Father. I ask you for those who want healing, those who want protection, those who want guidance. You know the prayer requests, Father. Just look at them and answer in the way you see fit, Father. We thank you for everything you give us. Please be with each of us safe. Be with all the panelists and those who are watching also. Bless us. Bless everyone. Thank you for hearing and answering prayers. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Brother Charles?
Father in heaven, we just linger in your presence a little longer, thanking you for the breath of life, thanking you also for the opportunity where you can be here this Friday night to be able to share our our discussion with the world. I want to ask you to be with each and every one of our viewers, even persons that may not have been viewing the Youth Live tonight, Lord. I want to lift every single prayer request that were uttered in the comments, or even other prayer requests from other viewers and everyone else. Hope that whatever situations persons may be going through, if it is your will, dear Lord, let it be done. Guide, protect, and direct us. Hope that everyone would have a wonderful night rest, and we would come online again to view our Mission Life program tomorrow to be blessed and spirit filled. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Persons who are at home, on your tablets, on your laptops, wherever you are viewing, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Those of you who liked and shared, thank you so much for liking and sharing our Youth Live. Remember, Youth Live is on every Friday night. Every Friday night, so invite a friend, tell a loved one. Tonight, I would like to thank the persons who planned the program, the committee, Pastor Jamie Gordon, Dalisha, and the entire team. Thank you so much for your hard work. The technical persons, Leroy and Kenan, thank you so much for your hard work. The panelists tonight, Sister Palmer, Brother Pearson Jr., Brother Charles, Patrick Jr., Sister Sandy, all those who assisted. May God's name be praised. Thank you so much. And see you next week, Friday night, for another episode or on other time as we meet together as young people and the adults support us as we discuss another. May God bless you and have a wonderful Sabbath as we praise God and glorify His name. Remember, He is worthy to be praised.
I surrender all that I am. I want to learn from you. Please draw me close to you. Help me share your love and grace in all I do. Lord, I come before you with contrite heart. Humbly I surrender all that I am. I want to learn from you. Please draw me close to you. Let me share your love and grace in all I do. Oh Lord, transform me. Change my heart completely to be more like you. Oh Lord, renew me. Heal my mind and broken heart today. I want to be and to do what you commanded, and be filled with the Spirit every day. I want to serve you wherever you may lead me. I want to serve you till the very end. Oh Lord, transform me. Change my heart completely to be more like you. Oh Lord, renew me. Heal my mind and broken heart today. I want to be and to do what you commanded, and be filled with the Spirit every day. I want to serve you wherever you may lead me. I want to serve you till the very end. Help me shine a light to a darkened world, and always live your truth in every way. May your love for me be seen by everyone, and lead others to trust and love you more.